The scene outside the Big Five sporting goods store in Renton, Washington on the evening of June 5th, 2024 was chaotic. City police arrived on scene within minutes of dispatch, only to find undercover sheriffs already there. A teenager was found lying, fatally injured, on the sidewalk.
Yeah, no, this is shenanigans.
Sorting through the confusion, the story that emerged was shocking. There were 4 individuals involved, 1 young victim, and there appeared to be 3 firearms. Except, which of the guns were actually real?
So we got 3 guns.
So this one,
Is that a BB
that's a
gun?
BB gun.
Okay.
That one's real, came back with a return. That one didn't come back with a return, but it looks real.
Okay.
Hi there, I'm Kevin, and welcome to Just Thought Lounge. Today's case is not as straightforward as it initially appears. It begins with some confusion, and it ends in heartbreak and disbelief. Let's take a look. Reports to emergency services began pouring in at 7:37 p.m. on June 5th, 2024. Callers reported a shooting outside of the Big Five sporting goods store in Renton. Customers and staff inside the Big Five, as well as the nearby stores and roadway, reported what they saw and heard in a confused panic.
911, what are you reporting?
There's a people down shooting person.
They're shooting?
Yeah, they're shooting.
Where are you?
In Big Five. If you were looking at Big Five, we are right on the right. The gun equipment is right outside the building. There's an active shooter outside. We have children.
We just heard the gunshots, looked over, and there were several people with their hands up.
There's someone laying on the ground, too. I think they've been shot.
Amongst the calls placed by witnesses at the scene were many more placed by King County Sheriff's detectives, who were inexplicably spotted at the scene just moments after the shots were fired. Their presence suggested an officer had been involved in the incident, though reports varied wildly.
Looks like we've got reports of a drive-by shooting there.
Oh, yes. Officer involved shooting at Big Five Sports in Renton. 2 people shot, 1 down.
Okay, my officer says that they have 2 detained. My sergeant's saying 2. Okay, everybody stop so I can talk to Valleycom.
As Renton police arrived on scene, they found the sheriff's office already there, in force, some dressed in plain clothes and others in uniform.
3, Robert, 12. I'm on scene. Looks like we've got sheriff's units on scene, multiple. Working on one of the big.
Detectives surrounded a young man on the pavement directly outside the doors of the sporting goods store. They worked frantically to render medical aid. There was no second gunshot victim present, as dispatchers had erroneously relayed to responders.
You guys need chest shields?
Okay, any other gunshot victims? Just this guy?
Just him. We just saw him.
Okay. I'll have the DJ buddy stay with us, okay? Stay with us.
Yeah, no, this is shenanigans. Alright. So, how happened? We have no idea. Apparently, a guy in this car just shot that guy. That's all we know so far.
As the scene was secured, officers began to make sense of the chaos. Though they had responded to an OIS, or officer-involved shooting, this seemed not to be the case. County detectives, it turns out, had been in a building just across the street conducting undercover training when they overheard an altercation occurring in the parking lot of the Big Five Plaza. At first, most assumed that it was one of their training scenarios. They rushed onto the scene only to discover, to their horror, a young man on the ground. This was no training exercise. The victim was identified as 17-year-old Hazrat Ali Rohani. He went simply by Ali. The teenager had sustained a yet undetermined number of gunshot wounds. While detectives attempted to assist Ali, others promptly detained multiple individuals. This included one man in his 50s, whom they witnessed fire upon the dying teen. Also detained were 2 young men, One stood by the plaza, handcuffed and confused. The second young man was pulled from the scene, screaming. He was placed in the back of a police cruiser. Their connection to the victim or shooter was yet unknown.
This is what I got. King County's doing a training exercise over in the parking lot of Triton 2, right? Okay. They hear a verbal argument of some type. They come over, white dude
My guy.
is in a verbal argument with him and the guy that's in the back of that car right now.
All right.
Something happens, white dude pulls out a gun and puts about 6 rounds in him.
All right.
So let's
ID this guy.
let's get him ID'd.
All right.
Mirandize him.
I did that already.
Will he talk?
I haven't even tried.
Okay. And then let's ID this other witness. See what he says. Hey, Jake, can I get one of your guys? Okay.
All right. Holy. This is our suspect. At least we got this taken place.
Wait,
it's not,
what?
We're going right over here, man.
Hey, I'm not done. I'm not done.
Oh, you're not done?
Nobody goes to my car.
He's going to mine.
Nobody goes to my car.
I just know someone got shot. There's a guy over there who got plugged. Okay.
This is 2 involved suspect victim.
Wait,
victims over there.
That were associated with this guy, potentially.
2 males that are associated.
No one's associated with me. My son's in Gracie Barra.
All right. Can stick him in mine if we need to. I've seldom been this confused in my life. I know. I just know someone got shot and we're here.
The suspect was 51-year-old Aaron Brown Myers. Aaron was in the parking lot outside of the Big Five that day, waiting to collect his 13-year-old son from his jiu-jitsu class at the Gracie Barra Martial Arts Academy, which was next door to the Big Five. Aaron Myers was a husband, father, and veteran. For 2 decades, he worked with fire service as a first responder. More recently, he was employed as a security guard for a company that would contract out his service where armed security was required. He worked a 12-hour shift before arriving at the plaza to collect his son. Aaron was placed in the back of a cruiser. He first asked about his truck, which remained parked near the storefront. After that, he asked after his son.
This dude, man. Just has those holsters on him. Alright, I'm gonna throw him in my car and then you can school me up on like what's happening. Alright, man. You're gonna be audio and visually recorded while you're back here.
Understand. Can you just make sure my truck's okay?
I don't know which truck is yours.
My son's in Gracie Barra.
Alright. What's your son's name? Man, I'll tell Gracie Barra to hang on to him for now, okay?
Officers checked on the safety of Aaron's son in the martial arts studio, then returned to speak with him.
All right. Are you hurt or injured or feeling any discomfort at all right now? You good? All right. I got the fire department. If you need anything, let me know. You've been Mirandized. Can you give me what happened?
I saw 2 armed individuals attempting to enter that store.
2 armed individuals going into Big Five?
Yes.
They both had guns?
One had one in his hand, and as he walked past my truck, and then he tucked it in under his shirt, and then he pulled it out again as I was approaching from behind. I told him to drop it. He dropped it. The other individual, I saw the butt of a handgun in his pants. He attempted to pull it. I told him to put his hands up, and he attempted to pull it.
All right. So you told the one guy to drop it.
He dropped
it. You told the other guy to drop it.
And he tried to. I told him to put his hands up.
Told him to put his hands up.
And
he tried to pull it.
Yes, sir.
And then
I'll wait till an attorney since I'm being called a suspect, I guess.
All right, man. Good enough. Sit tight.
Okay, what do you got? I'm on.
What do we got? Me and
Yeah.
City.
Okay.
This is our shooter.
Yes.
He's sitting here waiting for his kid to come out of Gracie Baja.
Okay.
He sees two guys with guns. He sees, looks like they're concealing them, and they're going into Big Five. He decides to roll up on them.
Okay.
Tells the one guy to drop his gun. He drops his gun. Tells
Is
the
that
other
the
guy,
silver gun?
I don't know which is which
Because
yet.
the black gun's his.
So then he tells the other guy, drop it. He reaches for it. He plugs it. That's what we got.
Witnesses inside the Big Five confirmed the version of events described by Aaron.
Witness inside there says our suspect
I got one for you.
ran up, got into a physical altercation with him first because he was trying to arrest the guys, and then they pushed off each other, and that's what switched out.
He ran up on them.
Yeah, so they saw one of the two. They couldn't decipher which one. Walking up to the store with a gun in hand, kind of just down to the side like this. So he runs up. He tells them to drop it. He drops it. Our suspect, guy in the car, comes in, tries to basically put his hands behind his back, arrest him, and they start getting into a tussle. And then they push away, and he draws out and fires.
Ali was with two other teenagers when he was shot. 17-year-old friend Bilal, who was subsequently handcuffed and placed in the back of a cruiser. He was distraught, screaming, his words barely decipherable.
This buddy, they were together. I think he could just stand by with me because he broke his skin on his knuckles punching the partition. I just told him his friend
Hey, don't punch that, man. You're just going to mess up your hand, bro.
I was chaplain started, but I know detectives need to talk to him too, so.
Why not me? Why the fucking shooting him, bro? No fucking shoot him, bro.
We have a neighbor.
I could barely get
I want to know what the f*** is that guy thinking in a way. Like, he's
He
on his life.
can't
What
let
the
him go
fuck
far
is
because he's
he
gonna run
thinking?
over to where, because he knows he's gonna be in custody.
Yeah. Someone not dead, bro. Bradley finishing eyes. What the
I can't transport him like this, obviously. Can't transport him like this. He's freaking out.
Ali's second companion was his cousin, Saddam. Saddam was handcuffed as well. He stood, visibly upset and confused, outside of the plaza, responding to officers' queries to the best of his ability. His English was not as strong as his friend Bilal's. All three boys were children of immigrant Afghan families. What Saddam told officers began to fill in the missing pieces. He said that he, Ali, and Bilal had arrived at the Big Five to return or exchange Ali's BB gun. Both Ali and Saddam had been carrying Glock-labeled airsoft pellet guns. These hyper-realistic models shoot only plastic pellets. As they approached the store, he said a male exited a dark-colored truck that was in the parking lot in front of the Big Five. That man, Aaron Myers, approached them rapidly from behind, yelling loudly. Aaron also carried a Glock handgun, but his was real.
One of them was white and black, and the other one was just all black.
The BB guns? Okay, yeah, the BB guns.
So there's one BB gun, two BB guns. Two BB guns. Okay.
So, did you carry a BB gun? Were you carrying a BB gun too? No. No, it's both your cousins. Okay.
Do you guys have a car here? Yeah. Where's that at? That white one?
Not white one. It's the one I got you all the shoot.
I just talked to the victim's cousin.
Yeah.
So then he said they were coming in to return a BB gun back. And then
Are those BB guns?
One of them looks like a BB gun for sure, yeah.
he said while they were returning the BB gun, the suspect came up and then told him to drop the gun. His cousin threw the gun on the ground, and then that's when he shot him.
So, solid. Because that's that guy's story too. He went vigilante justice and said, hey, drop those guns. And then the other guy didn't. The other guy didn't comply, so he stitched him. So.
Just
Okay.
this point, I don't think we do any pointing.
Okay. But he said he didn't drop the gun. That's why he shot him.
That's what he's saying. All right.
photos.
Let's keep all of this.
Yep, I'm
Where it
standing
is.
by the
Yep,
guns.
yep.
Make sure no one's touching them.
So we got 3 guns.
So this one,
Is that a BB
that's a
gun?
BB gun.
Okay.
That one's real. Came
Okay.
back with a return. That one didn't come back with a return, but it looks real.
Okay.
1 minute.
Who is Rivera's in there with you?
Noah's in there right now.
No, okay.
Justin.
And you got video for me?
I got
you
photos
got,
of all the
for me.
stuff.
Perfect.
The sidewalk outside of the Big Five was scattered with firearms, ammunition, clothing, and other signs of violence. There were 3 handguns, 1 black and gray Glock-labeled airsoft pellet gun, 1 black 9mm Glock 19 pistol, a real one, and a 3rd black airsoft pellet gun. Both pellet guns were convincing replicas. In fact, it took officers at the scene running serial numbers multiple times to verify which guns, if any, shot only pellets. The one Ali had been carrying had fallen through his pants to the ground. It was revealed only after emergency responders began treatment. There were a total of 10 shell casings, all 9mm. This was the total number of shots fired. Ali Rohani had been struck 7 times. His injuries included wounds to his torso, the back of his arm, and stretched to the back of his thighs. Efforts to save the 17-year-old failed. He was declared dead at the scene. The first of 6 children, Ali was known as a role model to his younger siblings. His father, Jamaluddin, recounted that his eldest son was devout. He did not drink, smoke, or swear. He described Ali as a friend who worked tirelessly in high school studies as well as part-time at the family's clothing shop. He was a junior at Kent Meridian High School. His loss was deeply felt across the school community.
Same day, I was literally sitting with him right here. He asked me about what I was going to do after school. He was always going to come and give me a hug, everything.
What you need, sir?
Please have some water. I'm not feeling so good.
All right, we'll get the fire over here to take a clock too. In 1 second.
Aaron Myers told police that when he arrives to pick up his son from jiu-jitsu class, he performs what he called Overwatch at the location. As a licensed security officer carrying his firearm, he feels obliged as a citizen and as a father. He told police that he has seen numerous crimes occur in the parking lot in the past and wanted to make sure that his son was safe while in training. That evening, just past 7:30 p.m., he watched as the 3 youths walked past him where he sat in his pickup truck. 2 of them were visibly armed, he said. Aaron believed that the group was going to commit armed robbery at the location. He said he felt like he did not have the time to call 911 and that he had a duty to act to stop the individuals from hurting someone innocent and to protect his son. At the station, Aaron was distraught and crying. He told detectives that he thought he was going to be sick, so he was given a trash can where he audibly started to gag. The detective suggested that he utilize different breathing techniques to try and calm down. Eventually, he regained his composure and began to offer a detailed breakdown of his encounter with Ali Rohani and the 2 other boys. Security camera footage from inside Gracie Barra captured the beginning and end of the interaction. A camera from inside the Big Five filled in the missing pieces. Cameras showed the 3 boys walking through the parking lot and past Aaron's truck. There is a man in black on the sidewalk, an unsuspecting witness to what was about to occur. In Aaron's recollection of events, he watched the boys walk past before he exited his vehicle and pulled out his handgun, a Glock pistol he carried for his work as a security guard. He pointed the gun towards the 3 boys, who were originally facing away from him, walking towards the storefront. The bystander spots the gun drawn and walks quickly away from the exchange unfolding. Saddam separated from the other 2 boys and walked away from Aaron as he approached, his gun outstretched in front of him. Aaron told police that he was issuing commands to the group, telling them to drop their firearms and to put their hands up. From the Big Five, Ali and Bilal were captured outside the glass doors. Bilal, wearing a gray sweatsuit, removed his BB gun from his waistband and threw it to the ground. Ali, however, does not appear to do the same. During this time, Aaron was getting closer to the group and closed the distance between them. Aaron told detectives that he then used his arm to try and restrain Bilal. He said that he did not want him reaching for his discarded weapon. Commands towards the boys continued. They were instructed to put their hands up, but according to Aaron, they were not following his instructions. He recounted that the individual with no gun, Saddam, was waving his hands around saying, "What the man?" He then recalled that he pushed Bilal away as the second armed youth was not placing his hands in the air. The cameras inside Gracie Barra show Ali in the far right corner, fleeing from the direction of the physical encounter between Aaron and Bilal. Ali appears first with his arms raised. As they lower, he seems to be turning his back to Aaron. His hands reach down to his abdomen, and moments later, he falls to the ground. It was at that time Aaron said he saw Ali reach for his gun. His recollection was that Ali's hand actually grasped the gun. He fired. He was not sure how many times. Only seconds later, Aaron was the one receiving instructions. He dropped his gun to the ground and raised his hands as county detectives, having witnessed portions of the encounter, rushed to the scene. Bilal was captured running to the aid of his friend. Saddam tried to reach 911 on his cell phone. Another bystander recorded the moments that followed. Renton City investigators reviewing the footage were under no illusion that Aaron Meyer's recollection of events presented the full, unadulterated truth. Indeed, they believed that the cameras contradicted Aaron's version of events. They also learned that this was not the first time the security guard had found himself playing vigilante, ostensibly for the public good. Only a couple of years prior, he called emergency services about a suspicious man, who he believed to be armed, walking down the street. On that call, he told the operator that he was also carrying his gun and that he felt compelled to intervene. Thankfully, police arrived before Aaron had a chance to pull his weapon and confront the man. The responding officers then discovered that that apparently suspicious individual was not in fact carrying a gun. The man posed no threat to Aaron or anyone else.
County prosecutors charged Aaron Brown Myers with second-degree murder for shooting and killing a 17-year-old outside a Renton sporting goods store last Wednesday. In court papers, prosecutors say Myers shot the victim in the back at least 6 times after stopping the teen and 2 others. One teenager was carrying an airsoft gun to be returned to Big 5 Sporting Goods. Myers told police he thought the teens were going to commit a robbery. He remains behind bars on $2 million bail.
Aaron Myers stood trial for second-degree murder and assault in April 2026. He pleaded not guilty, arguing that he fired at Ali Rohani in self-defense after the boy reached for what he believed was a real handgun. It was a last resort after intervening to stop an act of violence he believed the boys were intending inside the Big 5.
He also couldn't ignore what he saw. This is what he saw. This is a hyper-realistic replica Glock 9mm semi-automatic handgun.
Prosecutors argued that even if the boys' guns had been real, even if Ali had in fact reached into his waistband to access a weapon, Aaron's claim of self-defense was still bogus, because he was the instigator of the encounter. His actions provoked a response, and then repeatedly escalated the situation through a series of intentional acts. The older man approached the group with his gun drawn. He grabbed Bilal's hair, shoved the teenager into the window, all whilst pointing his loaded gun at Bilal and then Ali in turn. Though the cameras did not record audio, both of the surviving teens insisted that during this time, they repeatedly yelled to Aaron that their guns were not real. BB guns, they stated over and over, they said.
The boys yelled repeatedly, "It's a BB gun. It's not real." But Mr. Myers chose to escalate the situation even more.
There were holes in the case that both the prosecutors and defense attorneys were forced to contend with. First, despite numerous eyewitnesses to the events at the plaza that evening, only one witness who had been inside the Big Five testified that she overheard the boys calling out "BB gun" before the shooting. And that witness only claimed to have heard this after it was widely reported that the young boys carried only pellet guns. Indeed, on recorded 911 calls, as well as statements with officers at the scene, no witness ever mentioned hearing the boys call out that their guns were not real. The gaping hole in the defense's assertions came from the Gracie Barra footage. They called an expert witness at trial who testified that a frame-by-frame analysis showed Ali motioning towards his waistband with his right arm just before Aaron fired. This motion, they argued, supported what Aaron reported seeing at the time and justified his response when he fired in self-defense. Yet, the same footage that depicted Ali's arms falling to his sides showed Ali with his hands raised and moving away from Aaron. Only a moment later, he collapsed on the ground. Prosecutors told the jury that the downward movement of Ali's arm, a crucial factor in the defense's case, was likely a response to the shots being fired, not the reason for them. This motion was consistent with the injury to Ali's arm, one of the first wounds he sustained. By the time he dropped his hands from the air, Aaron Myers was already shooting. Prosecutors argued that it was not reasonable to believe that Ali, who knew that his gun was not real, would have reached down to use it. Certainly given the tension of the exchange, and with his friend already pushed to the ground. It was not reasonable to believe that the 17-year-old would pull his fake gun on an aggressor who held a real one.
There is simply no way that Ali dropped his hand down and grabbed his BB gun the way that Mr. Myers described. No reasonably prudent person would approach three boys casually going about their day while pointing a gun at them, demanding orders. No reasonably prudent person would then escalate the situation every step of the way by making physical contact, grabbing and pushing, forcing Bilal down to the ground when he wasn't even fighting back. To then senselessly fire so many gunshots that you lose track of how many you even fired, while clearly aiming to kill.
Aaron Myers is not a murderer, and he did not commit the crime of assault in the second degree. He didn't want this to happen. He didn't want anyone to get hurt. The reason he got out of his car is he was trying to prevent violence. Based on what he saw, he needed to act. This is someone who was a first responder for 20 years. He was in the military. He deployed to combat zones. Never even fired his weapon at a person in his entire life. And now, in this moment, 52 years old, picking up his son from a jiu-jitsu class, he decides this is the moment that he just wants to shoot. That does not make any sense. He shot because he feared for his life. That's what he told you.
The final piece of doubt that the defense aimed to plant in jurors' minds related to the intentions of the boys that day. They claimed to be returning or exchanging their BB guns, though they did not have the purchase receipt with them, nor did they bring any of the packaging. On a prior occasion, Ali had exchanged a BB gun carried in a bag to the location where it had been purchased. In this instance, Ali and Bilal carried the guns by their sides and in their waistbands. In addition, they were not returning to the store where the BB guns had been acquired. That store location, also a Big Five, was miles closer to where they lived. Defense questioned traveling such a distance to a different store and without proof of purchase. Perhaps Aaron's assumptions about what the boys had intended to do that day had not been that far from the mark.
But I think it's a real possibility that their lies about the minor details in this case point to the, again, possibility that that they were lying about what they were going to do that day. You were trying to return your guns with no receipt? You drove an extra 7 miles away from your house just to do a return? You didn't put your guns in a bag or a box? Mr. Myers was absolutely entitled to shoot someone reaching for a hyper-realistic handgun tucked into his waistband.
The 12-person jury deliberated over 2 days.
We, the jury, find the defendant Aaron Brown Myers guilty of the crime of murder in the second degree as charged in count 1, signed by the presiding juror. Find the defendant Aaron Brown Myers guilty of the crime of assault in the second degree as charged in count 2.
Aaron Myers' sentencing hearing was rescheduled from July to September 2nd, 2026. He faces a total sentence of 20 to 26 years for second-degree murder and assault, as well as a 10-year enhancement for the use of a firearm. Hazrat Ali Rohani is deeply missed by his parents and his 5 younger siblings. And that was the tragic case of Hazrat Ali Rohani. Thank you for joining me. This week, I would like to welcome our newest Sherlock Holmes members, Nouvelle Michelle, His Lady, Shate Wade, King Anthony, and Quash. It's great to have you all in the lounge. I'm Kevin, this is Just Thought Lounge, and I'll see you in the next one.
Let me find my seat. Kevin, go ahead and settle in. Gotta be selective, doing all the research, keeping it objective. Always been effective. Can say he got a knack. Pick of the litter. You see how Newton got his back. Yeah, the content that you need. This could be a new sign. We talk in the comments. They jot in a few lines. Tune in and hit like. Love that. It's too kind. Feels like the whole world is online for true crime. Watch him on a run, but it's not a race. Really hard to disappear. Poof without a trace. Sherlock Holmes with it. I put you in your place. Got my smoking pipe. Only right. I crack another case like. I need that feeling that you brought. Who learned the lesson that you taught? To make a killing's what they saw. Found out the lounge just what you thought. Found out the lounge just what you thought.